This episode was brought to you by Helix.
Initiating moisture.
Welcome to the Moist Meter. Today we're taking a look at The Boys Season 2. Most of you know I fucking love the first season of The Boys. That shit absolutely slapped, so I was really excited for Season 2. And I have to say, it's not as strong as the first season, but it's still very good. Most of the characters are still really fucking great and well written, especially William Butcher. Butcher is still my favorite character in this show. I absolutely fucking love Karl Urban. Karl Urban is my favorite superhero. Like the real world Karl Urban, the actor, he's my favorite superhero. Hopefully we'll see Dredd 2 one day. Love you, Karl, if you're watching. And in Season 2, Butcher is still just as much of like this boogeyman badass who even superheroes come to fear and respect. But you also see a totally different side of him where he has a lot more depth emotionally as a character, I think. As the season progresses, you get to see a lot of different shit from him. And it's not something just totally out of left field where all of a sudden Butcher's like the nicest guy in the world buying Girl Scout cookies and breastfeeding babies at a hospital. It's a very natural progression of his character, and I think it's really well done over the course of the season. I just really like to see Butcher develop like that. It was just really good. I definitely think Butcher was the star of this season. In the first season, the huge standout was Homelander, with an incredible performance from Anthony Starr. Homelander was just one of the coolest villains I've seen. In Season 2, he really takes a step down. He didn't really have that central role anymore. He was kind of reduced to like this sniveling Looney Tunes villain who just keeps getting used by everybody and can't really get anything right. He's constantly outsmarted. He's just not the same diabolical, evil mastermind genius from the Season 1. He's just kind of like this jacked guy at the gym who no one's really showing any respect to anymore. People constantly stand up to him in this season with no repercussions. He just like gets stood up to and then he like cowers away into his shell and then leaves, really. I just can't even really think of any moments in Season 2 where I was like, damn, that's Homelander. That's Homelander from Season 1 right there. Because it really didn't feel like it. He played more of a backseat to some of the newer villains they introduced. And I like the newer villains. I think they were very decent. But they're no Homelander. Homelander in Season 1 was something real special, and to see him kind of fall into what happened in Season 2, it just doesn't really make sense, because he was the king in Season 1. He felt he was God and above everyone else, but in Season 2, he feels like he's like the fucking court jester. He's just not at that same level of, larger than life, the real fucking deal. I don't know, I felt really underwhelmed by Homelander's progression as a character in Season 2, and I get it was probably just to put more of the light on the other villains, which is okay, because they are good villains, but I would have at least liked it to stay a little more true to what they built up with Season 1's Homelander, where he still, when he comes on screen, everyone in the fucking room is visibly uneasy and intimidated. Only a couple times in this season was there anything even remotely like that. It's still a great performance from Anthony Starr's Homelander. It's just I would have liked to see him not kind of play more of a backseat and just get used. He gets absolutely fucking trampled like a doormat in this season by a bunch of different people. And other than that, I don't have too many complaints other than like a few plot holes here and there. Like there's a scene where one of the boys gets injured and has to go to a hospital for a couple days. Well, they're the most wanted people in the entire fucking world. What kind of hospital is going to treat him and let him stay overnight for a few days without reporting it to the authorities? Their faces are everywhere, on every milk carton, on every billboard. Walking into the hospital, there's probably like a news blast playing with their faces on it, and yet somehow they're able to just get hospital treatment for a few days with no problems. There's simple plot holes like that, which aren't the biggest deal. It's a bit nitpicky. But overall, it's still very good. I know I've kind of harped on the Homelander thing, and that's just more of me being a little disappointed with him kind of, just playing that backseat role. But the season is still great. In fact, I really like a lot of the plot twist this season introduces and a lot of the new characters they bring into the fold, because it's keeping things constantly fresh, and you're seeing a big overarching universe with a lot of moving parts where, Vought's not the only evil corporation out there. There's a lot of other, very sketchy things going on behind the scenes with a lot of other people that aren't superheroes that are doing some real fucking wild shit. And of course, the gruesome gore is still intact in Season 2. Now there's a character that's blowing heads up, just popping heads like fucking balloons. There's another character that just closes their hand and someone just completely fucking combusts. So there's still a lot of gore and a lot of fight scenes and a lot of good action that you get to see in Season 2 that I think is executed pretty well. And the last two episodes I really thought were very strong, starting with the end of the second to last episode and then the finale. I think both of them set up a really interesting world going forward for season 3, if there is a season 3. It's just something I'm really looking forward to. I've really enjoyed the narrative a lot, and I find myself getting pretty invested in the universe and most of the characters. So yeah, I mean, overall, I definitely think The Boys Season 2 is still very strong, just not quite as strong as the first season in a few different areas. Anyway, plugging Season 2 of The Boys into the Moist Meter, I'm still going to give it a 90% because I do still think it's something extremely entertaining, but there are certain moments where you might roll your eyes at some of the things that develop over the course of the season, and there is some things like if you're already a fan of Homelander, you'd be like, well, why the fuck is Homelander all of a sudden afraid of his own shadow? You know, like it's fucking Homelander. But overall, it's still really fucking good. It seems more and more often people fail to understand the importance of a quality mattress, and that's why I'm here to talk about Helix mattresses. For a while, I used to have a little morning back pain, and it wasn't until I started to really analyze the mattress that I started to get the sneaking suspicion that maybe the mattress just wasn't right for my back. As a 5'6" man, it's hard to find mattresses to fit that hulking body size. But then eventually I came across Helix mattresses, and I've only had Helix for like 2 weeks, and so far I've absolutely loved it. I haven't had that back pain in the morning, and I think one of the main reasons is because Helix has this little like quiz that you take to match a mattress to your unique body type and sleep preference, so you get like the perfect mattress for your needs. And it's really worked for me so far, so I do highly recommend Helix, and they get delivered to your door for free, and it's easy to set up. It's just no hassle, and yeah, just I really enjoy it so far. So if you want a new mattress or are interested in trying it, Helix mattresses have a 100-night sleep trial, so if you're not feeling it after 100 days, you could just send it back and you get all your money back. So if you're interested in a Helix mattress, you can go to helixsleep.com/moist to get up to $200 off your Helix mattress. That's helixsleep.com/moist for up to $200 off the mattress. That's it. See ya.